Okay, good morning, everybody. Hello.
Good morning. Hi. How are you, Alex? You're right.
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Good, good. Actually, it's good afternoon. I've just heard the bells.
All
So
right,
now it's just changed. I don't have the windows open today, guys. So I've just heard the bells. So now we've gone from the morning into the afternoon. So welcome to our Wednesday afternoon webinar. I don't know about you, Al, but I'm losing track of the days.
It is hard, and I must say that these webinars help to keep a pace on our daily routine. So,
Yes, I
good
mean,
morning, Alessia. It's nice to see you again.
good morning,
It's,
Alessia. Good afternoon. Why are you saying good morning?
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
I'm still in with my head in the morning as
In the
well.
morning.
Yes.
No, it is. I think it's one thing that's, I don't know about Alessia and maybe Deborah and some of the other viewers. Um, but I think having a routine in these days, in this particular situation, is important. I have a routine with the lessons, the webinars, my children. Yeah, because at the weekend, now that there is no routine, because the routine is basically that you have to stay inside, the days do seem a lot longer. And I mean, we talked about the Easter weekend. It was seemed like quite a long weekend.
It did. Yes, it did.
So going from one thing to another, at 12 you have to do the webinar, then you have to do something else, is very very important, I think. Okay, I'm very happy today anyway.
How are you? Good.
Because I actually got some bread. I know it sounds really strange.
Yeah, I know.
But
You can find joy in these things.
no, because we're avoiding going to the shops or supermarkets, whatever, as much as possible. And my wife actually bought some piadinas.
Wow.
Yeah, which they're sealed, so you can use them for 4 or 5 days in a row. You just put them in the oven. But I said to my wife last night, I really I'm got to try and get some bread tomorrow. Some proper bread. So I was very lucky. We live next to a market, which is an indoor market, and of course, every day there have been queues and queues and queues to get in. You have to wait an hour or so. I went at 10:30 thinking there would be a queue, and you know what? I just walked straight in. There was no queue.
Lovely.
I couldn't believe it. So I was like in and out in 10 minutes. So I was very happy. I stocked up on bread. So
guys, if you are listening to us, just let us know what is making you happy these days. We know
very good.
this is
good
a
one.
business focus. We'll get right into it, but still, we're people, so we're just curious to know what is making you happy these days, even the small things, just to keep our spirits up. So, Richard, what is today's topic?
Today's topic is meetings, and we have it at beginner level. The title of the meeting is What Happened? And sorry, guys, we've just been steamed in today. We didn't introduce ourselves properly. We do have some regular viewers, but my name is Richard. I'm originally from Wales, and I'm a corporate teacher in Milan at the school in Mervili. And I've been working in Milan and living in Milan for 4.5 years, and I normally teach at companies. Alex?
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I also am a corporate teacher with Richard, and I work in the School of Milano Meravigli. So if you are of Milano Meravigli or if you are from other schools, just let us know where you're from because we're curious.
Okay, we talked about what makes people happy during this time and how are we managing our time. And Alessia has said that she draws up, or she's drawn, I should say, she's drawn up a timetable with all the tasks I have to accomplish during the week. That's good. It gives you a target, gives you a goal. Alessia,
Yes.
I'm not as organized as you,
But really, it's a great example of how to manage your time, and because days are seeming all the same, but they can be different, and you can accomplish a lot of things in this time just by deciding, giving yourself a goal, or yeah, giving yourself a target for that week, a personal target or a business target. It doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Okay, let's have a look what we're gonna look at in
Let's
this
look at today's
focus
business
activity.
focus.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll learn to talk about a problem, and we will review the past simple and look at some grammar with the common past irregulars. So we're going to talk about irregular verbs. And just to refresh, today there's going to be a little bit more grammar than the other days. We're going to refresh the irregular past.
Perfect. And Giovanni has added a comment there. He says he's happy because it is sunny. Yes. Well, that
Lovely.
is one thing. Yes.
Lovely. Yes, it does
The
help
we-
the mood. We
yeah,
need that.
the weather does make a difference. At least the sun's out, but I always see it through a window. And Giovanni says he has lots of meetings in this period online. Well, I say, yeah, I mean, this is the beauty now. There was an article on the BBC website, maybe last week or something, saying, imagine this situation would have happened 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Precisely.
We wouldn't have been able to stay in touch as much or continue with our work. You know, modern technology has completely helped in this situation. You know, there's no way we would do these webinars.
Precisely. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Okay.
So let's start and let's talk about problem solving. So think about your own job or think about your life in general. What are typical problems that you have in your job and your industry, and how do you resolve them? So,
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about maybe some problems that we have in our job or in our industry. Sometimes it's hard to manage our timetables, yes, when from sometimes a logistical point of view, you have to be like in two places at once, so then we have to split the work between various teachers. Sometimes there are logistical issues because sometimes we do teach in areas, or sorry, companies that aren't accessible by public transport or aren't as easily accessible by public transport. Fortunately for me, I have a car, but also this creates other problems. You know, I have to think about the traffic. I have to think about. I know it's really silly, but one thing I always ask my director when I get a new course in a company, I'll say, "What's the parking like?" Look, because
yes,
it
it
is
is a
really
problem. Of course.
it is really important. If you are traveling to a place where the parking is very, very difficult, then you have to allow yourself some more time. Yes. Fortunately, a lot of the companies I work in have their own parking facility. So normally, very kindly, they issue me a pass and I can park there, so it's off the street and I don't. But some companies, basically, I have to find a parking space. Problems also, again, maybe with you guys, and I'm sure Alex has experienced this, we get IT problems.
Technology.
Yeah, which sometimes can cause problems in our lessons. And how we resolve these, like I said, with the parking, I resolve it. So I didn't actually answer the whole question. I resolve it on the first lesson. I go a lot earlier than I should, just in case there are these problems. If possible, I ask the companies if I could use their parking facilities. Yes, and like I say, I just try to manage my time to resolve this, so I'm not arriving 5 minutes before a lesson and thinking, oh my gosh, I can't park. IT problems, Alex and I always prepare and research our lessons. So we do have an idea what we need to cover. So we can continue doing a lesson without the IT. And sometimes because I've been teaching now for maybe 5 or 6 years, I have what I call my bag of tricks, which I have hard copy of material and things that I can substitute. What about you, Alex? Similar problems or anything different?
Yeah, I must say that there are similar problems. I agree that with Giovanni is writing that currently his problem is that he doesn't have enough time because there are a lot of meetings, and the problem is time management, basically, how to allocate. Allocate is a word to say to give, to dedicate enough time to each of these meetings because they're very long. So yes, time management, especially in the job that Richard and I do, can be a problem. We try to solve this type of problem, allowing enough time for us to switch from one lesson to the other. I know it's not always easy. But I agree with Alessia that she says, can we define the problem-solving ability as a soft skill? Definitely yes. I was just about to say that the skill problem-solving is a very important skill to have because sometimes you solve problems. You have to solve problems with what you have at that moment. So trying to find a workaround means you have a problem and you find a solution to overcome, to go past that problem. And sometimes you have to be creative. So you can find something that is maybe not the most perfect solution, but it helps you in that specific moment. So
And
yes. Oh, wonderful.
yes,
So sorry, we have a request. Good. We didn't imagine that we could help you, Alessia, but yes, problem solving is a soft skill and we can focus more on skills, on soft skills. So great.
I mean, we can talk about this directly now, I guess. Yes, Alessia, I think with Alex and I don't think it should be an issue. We organize the webinars a week in advance. So maybe for next week, we could devote some time to this. Alex and I can have a discussion over the next few days, maybe how we can tie it in with another webinar or even make it a whole webinar. So yes, we'll tomorrow or Friday, as you know, we have the business webinars. We can let you know when we're going to do it, or yeah, you'll
Yes,
be okay with that,
definitely.
Al?
I
Yeah,
agree. Perfect. Yes, I
yeah,
totally agree.
that's great. I mean, like I said, please give us your ideas, yes, and we'll try and help you as much as we can. Okay, great, Giovanni. Yeah, if you're all agreed, that's great. It's nice that.
Lovely.
Okay, so yeah, very good. Problem solving is a soft skill. Thank you, Alex, for that. Okay, the next question is describe a current issue you or one of your colleagues, is working on now. Then we have the questions. What is the project? Who is responsible for it? When is the deadline? How are you involved in it? What's the problem? How did it happen? Okay, it's not so much of an issue. We do have a project on at the moment which is a little bit different for us. As you know, we do have specific courses, but also we tailor courses. So that means someone will come to us with a specific request. And one of the projects we are working on at the moment is okay, the lockdown has changed things, but we have a pilot who wants to change airlines, and his request to us was to prepare him for the interview process of. He has an interview with another airline, and now he wants to practice his interview skills in English because he has to do the interview in English. Who is responsible for it? Alex and I are responsible for it. We divide our time, of course, with our timetable. So Alex will do maybe one lesson with him, and then I'll do one. Or Alex will do two, and I'll do one. We divide it up. Yes. So it's quite an interesting project for us. The deadline is in about 2 or 3 weeks, we think, because he came to us about a week or two ago, but it's going well. How are we involved in it? Well, Alex and I put our heads together and looked at basic interview questions.
Precisely. Yeah, we're in charge of the training, so we look into the questions, typical questions. Just to clarify, we're talking about business English, so when we're speaking about interviews, we're talking about job interviews. It means that the person is applying for a job. Just to clarify, because we can use the same verb interview also in other contexts, and it means to provide information. In this case, in business English, we're talking about providing information in order to apply for a job.
Okay. And so we're involved in it. Basically, Alex and I are trying our best to prepare him for the interview, the type of questions that he most probably will get, the type of answers that maybe he should give, and maybe to help him answer the questions in a better way, help him with his, his basic pronunciation, his grammar, remind him about certain things. The problem, not a major problem, but he did actually bring some specific questions. And as Alessia, as you said yesterday, when you talked about when people get very technical about certain things, there have been certain questions that are very sort of focused on flying and airlines, and so basically it was us understanding those and then trying to help him to answer them.
We can say that our problem was to find ourselves unprepared on such a specific topic.
Yeah.
So our solution was to ask him to provide us with situations in which he was the expert and he could provide the precise answers, the precise questions that probably he would receive in an interview. So again, it's a soft skill, a little bit of creativity, and in general, you can overcome even unexpected problems.
And to be honest, it's been quite interesting anyway, because I've learned a lot about the airline industry, which I didn't know. So again, it's been challenging for us, but very enjoyable. And last one, bit of a strange question, but how did it happen? Well, he approached the school with this specific request, and then Alex and I were given this project to do. So.
So,
okay.
if you are encountering a problem on your job, please try to answer these questions. We have looked at questions in the past webinars, so always remember the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why, and how. When you provide an overview to a situation, try to describe your problem and, if you have overcome it, how you have solved that problem. Shall we move on?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to read about a case study, Shelby Retreats. We will read it for you, and we will focus on the question on the bottom. What do you think the problem is? So keep this question in mind and we will read for you. So Richard, do you want to start?
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, and one thing I just wanted to check and clarify, the case study says Shelby retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this can be used as a noun or a verb. So we can use the verb to retreat, which means to withdraw. So when you are talking about an army, for example, if an army has to retreat in battle, they go back, okay? Or you can have it used, as a noun, a retreat, okay? And when we talk about the retreat, yes, basically we're talking about somewhere we can get away, yes? A private place, a secluded place that maybe we just want to go to relax, yes? So again, this is talking about a hotel that you can retreat to, you can be private in, okay? So again, it's like going back somewhere, but to be comfortable, to be relaxed.
Yeah,
okay.
Very good point.
Let's read and you know me, guys, with my eyesight. Okay.
Oh, sorry, do you want me to read?
No, I'll read it.
I have it bigger. Okay, fine.
No, it's okay. It's all right. No, it's good. I have to practice. All right. Diane Morris works as general manager, for Shelby Retreats, a new group of boutique hotels. She is opening 2 new sites for the owners in the next year. She is having problems finding locations, hiring new staff, and decreasing the limited budget that Shelby has. Shelby Retreats are opening one of 2 new locations on the coast of Kenya. They are sending General Manager Diane Morris to prepare everything. When she returns from Kenya, Ray Shelby calls a meeting with her to discuss a big problem. As a small hotel, Shelby has difficulty competing with other big resorts. Okay, it does say in the first paragraph that Shelby Retreats is a boutique hotel. So what is a boutique hotel? If something, or you could have a boutique in general as a shop, yes. Boutique,
luxury
very good.
Hotel.
Yes.
Luxury.
Yeah, perfect. We can use synonyms like Alex said: luxury, sophisticated, fashionable. Yes. And do these places tend to be big or small?
They tend to be small,
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so when you
reserved, intimate.
yeah, great. When you're talking about, when we use it to talk about a shop, yeah, it's normally quite a small shop, but it's very sophisticated, fashionable. We're using it here to describe a hotel. So, but and because it actually says when it makes the comparison at the end that they find it difficult for people at the big resorts. Yeah. Okay, Alex, the question.
What do you think the problem is? So let's look
Okay.
in the case history. She mentions she is having problems finding locations, hiring new staff, and increasing the budget. There also is a reference to difficulty competing with other big resorts. So we have at least four possible problems.
Mm-hmm.
If you can think of anything else, please write it in the comments and we'll discuss about it.
Yeah. So basically, there's competition. That's one of the problems. Yes. Location is another problem. It's in Kenya, so my geography is not very good. But maybe there could be a cultural problem, maybe, or
Or bureaucracy.
difficulty. Yeah, bureaucracy. Um, I'm not sure what language they speak in Kenya, but maybe there could be a problem.
Linguistic problem.
Yeah,
Yes, very
the
good.
language. Yes, and maybe it ties in with what Alex said about the bureaucracy. It could be something to do with maybe politics. Yes.
Precisely. So
Okay.
let's look at the problem. So we're going to just skip this slide
Mm-hmm. And the next
and
one.
look at what happened. So let's look at this dialogue. So Richard, you can be Ray, and I will be Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
and again, try to focus on the problem and how Diane solved the problem.
Okay. So I'll be Ray, and Alex will be Diane. So what happened in Kenya? We know you had some problems.
Everything went wrong. First, I couldn't get the location. Do you remember the first one? We wanted the site by the ocean.
I don't understand. We signed the contract. The owner gave us the keys.
I know, but then a big hotel from the US offered the owner more money.
I don't follow you. Did they return the deposit? We paid $50,000 in advance.
They didn't return the deposit, they kept it.
Just to clarify, you're telling me we lost $50,000 in this deal?
Absolutely not. I called the lawyers at the US hotel. I told them to expect a lawsuit. They responded with a letter. It said, "We're not continuing with the ocean site."
Wait, are you telling me you managed to get the location?
Yes, that's right. I got it. That's why you hired me.
We should make a film, yeah?
Yeah, we're so good. I mean, you're putting some emotion in this.
Yeah, you gotta get into character. Get into character, as they said in fiction. Okay,
Okay, let's
I'm
get
gonna ask.
back.
I'm going to ask Alessia a question here. First of all, I'm going to highlight some words. So the first one I'm going to look at is deposit. Okay,
Right.
so a deposit is a sum of money you put down as a security for a service or a product. Yes, to make sure that you get that product or your service, so you don't lose it. Yes, if you want to buy a car, for example, you don't have all the money straight away, so that you secure the commitment that you make to buy that
Very
object
good. Yeah, the
or that
verb is to
service.
secure. to secure the deposit. Very well done.
Then we have an advance, okay, which is a little bit similar to a deposit also, really. Yeah, it's normally an advance payment is when you give, again, a sum of money, yes, for a service or a product, and they when that is completed, you pay the remaining money. Okay, lawsuit. Alessia, if you are still there, you're the lawyer, you're the expert here, right? So a lawsuit, in my understanding, yes, okay, from my simplified understanding, is when you have maybe a dispute with someone or a claim against someone, and you take them to a law court, sorry, to get this resolved. Is that correct, Alex?
Precisely. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alessia, your comments, if you're still there, would be useful on this. Also, if you could think of a better way to
Yeah.
explain it, because I'm not the expert here. I'm not the. Okay. Alex, do you want to add anything regarding the vocabulary of some?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We can add the verb that Diane uses when referring to the lawsuit. She says to expect. To
Okay, good. Yeah.
means to be prepared for something. So if you expect someone to arrive, you are preparing for that person. You're setting up maybe a meeting or, yeah, basically your house or whatever. So to expect something means to prepare for something.
Okay. Thank you, Alessia. You're so kind. Yes. Liar.
Okay.
Um, she says she confirms. Thank you. Okay. I don't really have a lot of knowledge about law, so it was my very sort of
Oh,
simplified
and
version.
sorry, just one more word, just for those who are following us who are new. In the last line, there is, she responds, yes, that's right, I got it. That's why you hired me. So to hire someone means to make that person your employee. It means to basically give that person a job. The opposite of to hire is to fire. It sounds similar, but there's an F
Yeah.
in front. And a synonym for to fire someone is to sack. To sack is a little bit slang. It's more common. You probably wouldn't use it on your job, but it's more colloquial and it means to fire someone.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they are synonyms, but I think Alex has got a good point there. To sack is a little bit more informal.
Definitely.
No, yeah, make sure you hear them correctly, whether they say hire or fire, because it could make you smile or make you cry. Who knows? Yeah.
Yes, right.
Or you could also say we're going to terminate your contract or something. Yes, if you. And also, that's a very good point. We also use to hire in another context as a verb. Um, Now it doesn't. I don't think it's used as much because we use another verb for this. But when you want to rent a car, yes, you also use the verb to hire a car. Okay, so it can be used as a verb to describe a temporary thing. Also, yes, you need to hire a motorbike. Yes, you go abroad when you go on your summer holidays. Yes, you want to hire a car, which means you use it for that period, you take it back. So
Yeah,
we use to.
like Richard just mentioned, the word to rent is more common nowadays.
I think so. Yeah. Is to rent more American anyway?
Uh, Good question. I don't know. It
Because
could be.
I think maybe it is. I don't know.
I think so because for me it's natural.
Right.
Uh, you talk about car rents, so yeah, it might be. I'm not
I
sure
think
though.
I think we've adopted it from America
It could be.
because when I was younger, we would use the verb to hire more. Yeah. Now it seems that to rent is used more when you go to an airport and you see the signs and everything. You know.
Good point.
Okay.
Okay,
So what
so
do we
now
need to do here?
shall we go to the next slide? And we're going to, okay, focus our attention on the verb tense. So
Okay.
as you can see in the dialogue, this is a conversation that talks about events that happened in the past. So find all the past tenses in this text and
Okay.
tell us what tense they are in.
Okay, and we'll go through it sentence by sentence. So in each sentence, I think there's, yes, at least one or two, just to help you a little bit. So we'll give you 10 seconds. Okay. All right, shall we go through it, Alex? Shall I or shall you start?
You may
choose.
start, sure.
Okay. All right. So in the first sentence, we have happened and had.
Precisely.
Okay. And they're in the past simple.
Exactly. In sentence number 2, you have went, couldn't get, uh, and wanted. They're also in the present simple, and there is a modal auxiliary couldn't.
Okay. Past simple. Yeah. Okay. Then we have signed and gave. Okay.
Yes. And in sentence number 4, offered.
Okay. Excuse me. And then we have paid. Okay. Paid 50,000 in advance.
Precisely. They didn't return
Mm-hmm.
the deposit. They kept it.
Okay. And then
then
we have,
go down.
sorry,
Yeah. No,
we
sorry.
have,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we have lost 50,000 in this deal. Yes.
Called the lawyer, told them,
Yeah.
they responded, and it
Okay.
said, sorry.
No. Yeah, perfect. Sorry, Alex, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Okay, then we have managed.
And finally, got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hired me. So
Perfect.
correct, very well done, Alessia. As you can see, all these
Good.
verbs are in the simple past. So now let's look at the verbs more carefully. You can see them lined up on the right. We're just going to go through them quickly. So we had happened, had, went, couldn't, wanted, signed, gave, offered, paid, kept, lost, called, told, responded, said, managed, got, hired.
Perfect. Okay.
So at this point, please look at the verbs and notice which ones of these are regular and which one of them are irregular. So let's just review the simple past. So we use the simple past for actions happened in the past. Actions that happened and were completed in the past. And
Perfect.
you make the simple past by adding ed, the letters ed, to the base verb, which means the verb in the infinitive without to. This is
Okay.
the regular form. But of course, we know that in English there are lots of verbs that are irregulars.
Okay. Very good. Yes. Also, just to add to that, if you get one ending in a Y, the difference is that you take off the Y and add IED. Okay. As Alex said, yes, unfortunately, there are a lot of regulars. We are going to have a look on the next slide at some of these. They do follow a pattern, some of the irregulars, but unfortunately, you just have to learn them. Yes, this is one of the most difficult things I think about English is just learning the verbs.
And probably
Yes.
boring as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just memory, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when we were in primary school from the age of 6 to 11, there was a spelling test every Friday. 30 words every Friday. We had to memorize those during the week, and we would get tested on them. And there were nouns, verbs, irregular, regular, everything. Okay, should we have a look?
Yes, exactly. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
So let's go, here we are, to the rule. Exactly, as Alessia has commented, we have regular verbs such as happen, want, sign, offer, call, respond, manage, and hire. The regular rule is to add ed, but as Richard mentioned, there are some variations. For example, hire is a verb that ends in e, so we simply add d to the verb. If we had a verb such as play, no, sorry, such as, I can't think of a word.
Carry.
Carry, very good,
Yeah,
carry.
yeah. I had to think also. Don't worry.
Yeah, such as carry, which ends with a Y anticipated by a consonant, then we add IED to we take off the Y and we add IED. So it becomes carried, spelled CARR, IED.
Yeah.
IED.
The same with marry becomes married. Marry has a Y at the end, so take off the Y plus add, sorry, the IED. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll do a column each for you. I'll read the first part anyway. So it says, we have the title past simple. Use past simple for finished actions in the past. Okay, that's the important word there. They are finished. Okay. Regular verbs, subject plus verb plus ed. The example is I called the lawyers at DS and M. you managed to resolve the problem, and Diane arrived in Mallorca this morning. Now we have some irregular verbs, just so you are not confused with what we are going to do. In this exercise, they bring up the 3 columns. Alex and I are just going to concentrate on the first 2 because it also brings up the past participle, but we just want to concentrate on the infinitive and the past simple. And basically, it's just to remind you of the pronunciation. Okay, so the first column on the left, we have bring and brought. Okay, it's very important to emphasize the T at the end. So brought. Okay, we have buy and bought, catch and caught, fight and fought, teach and taught, and think, thought. Okay, Alex, the next one.
So the next one in this group of irregulars, you will listen to a vowel change. So in the case of begin, it becomes begun, begin, begun, drink, drank, ring, rang, sing, sang, sink, sank, swim, swam.
Okay, very melodic. It's like you were singing. Hi, Hi, Giovanni. Giovanni's back with us. He's back in the room. Very good, because he said he had another meeting. Yes. Unfortunately, Giovanni, yes. Too many meetings. Okay, and the last ones we are looking at, the last group, is we have break and broke, choose and chose, speak, spoke, steal, stole, and wake and woke. Okay.
Just going to show you now all the verbs. Again, you will see all 3 columns, which means that you'll see the base verb, the simple past, and the past participle. But we're going to concentrate only on the second column.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit woof when it comes up like that. It's a lot of information, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Shall we look at the next group of irregulars?
Perfect.
Okay. So again, we're going to look at these other groups of irregulars. Each group has a similar sound, so it helps with memory. But again, unfortunately, you only have to repeat, repeat, repeat. So shall I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we'll start from the left. Drive, drove, ride, rode, write, wrote.
Great. And to continue, we have dream and dreamt, forget and forgot, get and got, leave, left, mean, meant, and meet, met.
The next on the top right, fly, flew, grow, grew, know, knew, throw, threw.
Okay. Then we have, excuse me, guys, fall, fell, give, gave, go, went, mistake, mistook, take and took, and see and saw.
Yeah, that one was totally random.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately.
I was trying to find a link, but there's no link at all.
No, not really.
And the
Um,
last group, cut, cut, let, put. So in this case, it doesn't change. I know
yeah,
it's
we
frustrating. I'm sorry.
it's all right. No, we can find a link there to say that they're irregular because they just don't change at all.
Exactly.
The top column, the it always changes to an E. Yes. Okay. The
Yeah,
vowel, apart from
show them,
fly,
show
yeah,
them so it's easier to see the links. There you see.
and then of course with drive, ride, and wrote, it's just a vowel change. Yes.
Okay, so Giovanni would like us to repeat the pronunciation. Yes, so we're going to repeat the pronunciation of the verb to think. So as you can see, as you can hear, sorry, think has a th in front. So remember to pronounce the th correctly. Th. So we have think and thought, thought. So I'm pronouncing the th in front. Why is it important? Because we have another verb, which is to teach. And the past of teach is taught. So no th in this case. So you
No.
want to have that th sound correctly because otherwise you are confusing the person listening. So we have teach, taught, think, thought.
Perfect. Very good. It's important that the T at the end also is strong. Yes, you have thought and taught. Now, guys, you might laugh at me, yes, but this is important because this is how we pronounce. Yes, when you pronounce the TH sound, your tongue needs to be between your teeth. Th,
Mhm.
th. You might think you might look silly when you're doing it, but you're not. To native speakers, to British people, we are used to seeing this. I know maybe it could be a bit unusual for you that you have to put your tongue in front. But if you don't put your tongue in front, you can't make that sound. So it has
Exactly.
to be like that. Th, thought.
So,
And just
and air
practice
is
that.
going through. Your
Yeah,
tongue isn't touching the teeth because otherwise the t sound comes out. Your tongue, sorry, is in, is immediately before the teeth, and air is going through.
yeah. So, like I say, don't think you people are going to be laughing at you, or it's going to be straight. Maybe it's strange for you guys because it's a new sound, yeah. But for any native speaker that is talking to you, we will be used to the mouth making these shapes. So, okay,
Okay,
guys,
so let's just review what we have seen today. We have spoken about some soft skills, some problem solving, and we promise to focus on this topic more in the future webinars, probably from next week.
mhm,
We have also observed the verbs we use to express an action that is in the past and that has been completed in the past. And that tense is the past simple. Once again, we have looked at the structure of the past simple, which is in the case of regular verbs, I add ed to the base verb. And in case there are small variations of that ed, so I might add just D, or in case of a Y, it changes to IED. And then we had looked at some irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, as the name says, do not follow the rule. There are some groups that you can memorize to simplify remembering the verbs, but all you have to do is practice, practice, practice.
perfect. You should be a
Okay.
teacher. You should be a teacher. I can't. I can't really add anything to that. Apart, yeah, I can't. Apart from saying thank you for joining us once again for our webinars. We are enjoying your company, all of you, your regulars, and the other people that join us. So we do appreciate your contributions also. We will try and tailor some of these to your needs. Have a good day. Giovanni, don't have too many meetings. They're not good for you. Yeah. And we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you
Bye.
again. Bye-bye.
Okay. See you tomorrow, guys. Thanks.